Good evening again. Welcome to the Fireburns Within channel. Time for another video this evening. Changing tack slightly, moving away from the one underrated song per album series. That will be resurrected with more bands, but I think I've got enough of those for a while. There's still a few bands I want to do, but I thought I'd do a different kind of video. Go to my first love, that's power metal. In this video I'm gonna list the top 25 albums of power metal, power heavy metal, mainly more modern style power metal rather than traditional metal. So no Iron Maiden, no Priest, just the more modern style of heavy power metal. In my collection, the top 25 in my collection, I've got to own the physical CD. There's quite a few albums I've not bought that I do like. I mean, I can't think of them offhand, but there's loads. But these ones I completely own the physical, so I'm gonna list those. I'm not gonna bring them out of my collection and show the collections down there. Because I've done that before in the videos that I made with the whole of my collection. I showed every single album I've got. But this one is the top 25 power metal albums in reverse order. The only criteria is that only one album per band. So I mean, sometimes I'd say I like 2 or 3 albums from a band that could easily make it onto this list. But in fairness to other bands, I choose only one album per band. So, okay, let's start with number 25. Number 25 in the list is Halloween, Gambling with the Devil. Yeah, I love this one from Halloween. I think it's probably my favourite from the Deris era. I think it's a really good effort, this one. Andy Deris is singing really good on this album. He's sort of like using a lot of his powerful voice. He's not using his sort of melodic rock, softer voice. He's really going for it. And the band is really energized on this album as well. Very, very heavy metal. Like, you know, they're not like super poppy melodic on the album. It's really a good heavy album. Okay, number 24. Number 24, where is it on my list now? Oh, there it is. Pathfinder, Beyond the Space, Beyond the Time. This is not a well-known album at all. Pathfinder is a, I believe, Ukrainian band. They're very much in the line of Rhapsody, basically, but very epic, very grandiose, very melodic, very good singer. I think the singer left after this, and he joined. I'm pretty sure he joined the band Titanium from Poland. And I love those guys' album Titanium. That's one I haven't got. I would like to get that, but I don't know. I haven't seen it anywhere. But anyway, Pathfinder, Beyond the Space, Beyond the Time. I love that album. It's epic. If you love Rhapsody, you will love Pathfinder. Okay, number 23 is Bloodbound and Nosferatu, the debut album from Bloodbound. Yeah, they came out a bolt out of the blue. Urban Breed on vocals. The album was like one of the best Iron Maiden worship albums you will ever hear. Great vocals from Urban, great songs, great mix between Maiden and Halloween. So the debut from Bloodbound, awesome album, highly recommended. And it's still only number 23 in my list. Number 22, Dream Evil, the Book of Heavy Metal. Dream Evil have got a lot of good albums. I mean, I love a lot of their stuff, but I picked the Book of Heavy Metal as being the one to include in this top 25 rundown. Yeah, it's a pounding heavy metal album. I mean, great vocals from the singer, great pounding riffs. Gus G was in the band at this time. Snowy Shaw was on drums. The singer is Nicholas, I forget his surname now, Nicholas something or other. He's awesome. Real pounding, heavy power metal. Very catchy songs. Okay, number 21 is the debut album from Kenzaina called Timescape. Yeah, this was an awesome album. It was led by Finnish guy Jarno Keskinen. They've actually just released an album this year, which is a good album. It's solid. It's not up to the levels of Timescape, though. Timescape was awesome. I love the vocals. Stephen Frederick, very good. Their second album was good too, but Timescape in particular I find to be an awesome album. Okay, number 20. Luca Turilli, King of the Nordic Twilight. It's Luca's first solo album. Great effort, awesome album. The singer was who was the singer now? The German guy. His name escapes me. Nah, it's not coming. Anyway, the album was awesome. It was like a more Halloween-y version of Rhapsody. Very catchy songs, even more catchy than what he was doing with Rhapsody. I wish Luca would sort of go back to that style a bit and leave the cinematic stuff. But anyway, it is what it is. Number 19 is Twilight Force, Dawn of the Dragon Star. I love this album. This album is so awesome. It's so melodic. Alex Conti's vocals are so fitting for Twilight Force. I mean, I like the previous singer as well, but Alex Conti, he fits really well, and the songs are so amazingly catchy. The choruses, the music, the production, everything is much better than the previous albums from Twilight Force. Number 18 is Primal Fear, Jaws of Death. Yeah, Primal Fear, the albums they've got are rock solid. Obviously, I don't have all, so I can only include from the albums I do own. So Jaws of Death is an awesome album. It's very much like a heavy Judas Priest. It's their second album. The debut was like a good solid start, and then Jaws of Death hammers it home. Ralph Sheepers, he's easily in the top 5 power metal singers in Europe. Easily. Number 17 is Masterplan's debut, self-titled. Yeah, that was awesome. Again, it was a bit of a bolt out of the blue. It's like Roland Grappau's band from Halloween. Yorn on vocals. I think the drummer is Uli Kush, if I remember correct, from Blind Guardian. Am I right? Or is it Zimmerman? I can't remember, from Gamma Ray. It's one of them anyway. It's an awesome debut. I mean, it's very melodic, very catchy. Yorn is like, he's at the top level on that album. Yorn is just awesome. And it's still 17. Still not massively high in my list. Number 16 is... where is it now? There it is. Iced Earth, Something Wicked This Way Comes. This was my introduction to Iced Earth. Very awesome. I love this album straight away. I mean, it's got a different mix of songs, very heavy pounders, more intricate songs, very catchy choruses, some acoustic parts. Very awesome album. Matt Barlow, he really shines on this album. I mean, he's at his peak, I would say, at this album. And that was 16. Number 15 is... there we are. Kane's Offering, Stormcrow. This was the project album with Timo Kotipelto from Stratovarius and Jari from Sonata Arctica. I can never remember his second name. I can't remember. No, I just can't remember it. Anyway, this is an awesome album. I mean, He's sorely missed in Sonata, this Yari guy. He's an amazing songwriter. Stormcrow is an awesome album. The one they did follow it up is really awesome too, but I don't own that, so it cannot go on the list instead. So Stormcrow is just awesome. Number 15. Very melodic, very catchy. Number 14. Again, a pretty unknown band. Instanzia with Ghosts. I love this album. This was a Canadian band fronted by a chap called Alexis Woodbury. He's not the best singer in the world. He's an okay singer, but his composition and his music style, his knack for power metal choruses were so amazing. And the follow-up, it just never materialized. I just don't know what happened. I mean, I was so waiting for this a long time. It was like planned, they're recording, singing, it's going well, and it's never happened. But Ghost itself is an amazing album. I love every song on that. It's just an awesome album. Okay, number 13 is Nocturnal Rights, Tales of Mystery and Imagination. That was an awesome album. That was like the first wave of the European power metal scene with Hammerfall. Nocturnal Rights never reached the heights of Hammerfall, which was a shame, because I loved this album, Tales of Mystery and Imagination. I used to play this album like constantly, my cassette. I didn't have it on CD. I bought the cassette and I was playing it all the time. The singer Anders Zachrisson, he left after the next album, which is also awesome, but after that they left and they got the next singer. He's good as well. But Tales of Mystery and Imagination, very unique. It's not the best produced, but the songs are very catchy, very maidenish, lots of gallop, lots of melodies, high pitch, accented vocals. Very cool album. Number 12. Here we are. Rhapsody, Symphony of Enchanted Lands. The second Rhapsody album. This is another one I played to death. I was 97, 98. I was in my power metal mode. I was in power metal discovery mode. I was just lapping up all the power metal that was going, and there was a lot of it going on the coattails of what Hammerfall did with their debut and then their follow-up. But yeah, Symphony of Enchanted Lads was just epic. You hadn't heard too much stuff like this. You know, this much high choirs, this much orchestration, this much speed. This was fairly unique for the time. And it's an awesome album to this day. Probably my favourite Rhapsody to this day. Right, number 11, a more recent album, Majestica, Above the Sky. Tommy Johansson is the master of power metal. The guy is just, I don't know, he knows power metal back to front, A to Z. He knows everything about it. Of course, he's now the guitarist in Sabaton, so his time for solo music is reduced somewhat, but he still put out this Majestica album, and it was bloody amazing. Oh my god, it was so good. I mean, his previous band Rainseed were good. They were really good. I should have could have included one of theirs in my list, Welcome to the Theatre, but in the end I didn't. But Majestica's Above the Sky is superb. It was my number one album of 2018, I think it came out, was it? Or was it 19 now? Mind plays tricks on me. 19 possibly. It's just an awesome album. Okay, the top 10. The top 10. Where are we? I haven't put these in order. I'm such a fool. Firewind, The Premonition. That's an awesome album. It's easily my favourite Firewind. Very melodic. Apollo on vocals. Gus G on shreds, riffs. Very melodic songs. Very catchy. Every song is a winner. Just can't fault that album. Okay, number 9. We're moving down. Hammerfall, Legacy of Kings, their second album. Again, the debut was good, but Legacy of Kings just knocked it out of the park. The production was so much better. The melodies were strong. Joachim Cans on vocals. His voice is slightly in a quiet taste. Some people will find him a bit whiny, but I don't know. I just got used to him, so I'm fully on board with Joachim. I don't have too much problems with him. And the songs are so catchy. It's Hammerfall. Like everyone who got on with the Hammerfall breakthrough in the late 90s, 97, 98, they must have loved this album. Okay, number 8. Where are we now? Here. Sonata Arctica's debut, Ecliptica. This was a bolt out of the blue. 1999. The power metal scene is burgeoning. There's lots of power metal bands producing great stuff. The production values have gone up. And then comes Sonata Arctica. Kick everyone out of the water. Amazing stuff. Power metal. Very melodic. Great riffs. Great leads. High-pitched vocals. Like doing stuff that Halloween were not doing at the time. Number 7. Nightwish. Oceanborn. Yeah, this is easily my favourite Nightwish album. It's just awesome. I think it came out around the same time, 2000, 99, something like that, if I'm not wrong. It was an awesome album. I just love this. Very melodic, much more power metal than they are now. Now they're sort of like symphonic heavy metal with heavy riffs, but in the old days they played with power metal tempos, so it was much more speedy, much more melodic, much catchier. And the keyboard sounds were not like, they were more just regular keyboardy. They weren't like symphonies, live symphonies recorded like they are now. Which I personally, I don't know. I like the live symphony, but I don't mind a normal keyboard sound either. It's more, I don't know, it just feels more melodic to me. Okay, number 6. Where are we now? Oh, here we go. The debut album from Falconer. Self-titled album. This one, again, is a bolt from the blue. Early 2000s, I think it was 2003, if I'm not wrong. Something like that. Or 2002. Bolt from the blue. The previous band that the guitarist used to be in, Stefan Wienerhall, Mythotin, it was sort of like a melodic folky black metal band. He stopped that. He said, okay, we can't have growling vocals, we're gonna have lovely clean melodic vocals. They found this guy, Matthias Blad. He's singing in musicals in Sweden, and they said, yeah, okay, why don't you come and front us and let us be a power metal band. So they persuaded him, I think. I'm sure he wasn't really... He was like, I don't know. It's okay, maybe. I don't know. They persuaded him and he came. And the first album blew everyone away. We never heard vocals like this. Like very majestic, clean baritone vocals. Like you're singing in a musical. Like you're Michael Ball or somebody like that. Or... I don't know, that Welsh guy who sings, I forget his name. Anyway, the album musically was amazing. It was like melodic power metal, little bit of folk in there, lots of melodies, so catchy. Every song was amazing. And to this day, Falconer haven't been able to match that album. And finally, they recently called it quits with their recent album, From a Dying Ember. It was a great way to goodbye, so we send salutes to the Falconer boys. Number 5, the top 5 albums in my collection, power metal wise. Sabaton, The Art of War. Yeah, definitely my favourite Sabaton album. This is an amazing album. I mean, I love Sabaton. I've been there from the very, very beginning. I saw them in the Purple Turtle in 2008, playing to 200 crazy fans. And now I saw them at Wembley Arena just before the COVID lockdown. We played Wembley Arena in February. 10,000 people there. Can you believe it? From 200 in Purple Turtle to 10,000 at Wembley Arena. Their rise is just like, I don't know, meteoric. I mean, it's an amazing rise. Art of War is an amazing album. Every song is a winner. I mean, I love all Sabaton albums anyway. I mean, they're interchangeable a lot. You know, every new album brings everything that you expect from Sabaton. Number 4, the top 4. Wow. All albums here are just stellar. All albums, well, even in the top, even the 25 I love. I mean, the 25 album I'd be rating 9 or 9.5 out of 10. So these are like hairbreadth difference between them. But I did put it in some kind of order. So Powerwolf, The Sacrament of Sin, the latest album. I love Powerwolf to death. They're my favourite band in the world. Well, along with Eclipse, but Eclipse is melodic rock, so they can't make this list. But The Sacrament of Sin is just, I think they really pulled out all the stops. I think it's their most melodic, most memorable song-wise, best production. Everything is at the top level. But, I mean, Powerwolf albums, they are all awesome. I mean, I love them to death anyway, but I just had to pick Sacrament of Sin because I love it so much. I think it's a superb album. The top 3, we're getting there now. Running Wild, The Rivalry. I think I just love this album too much. I mean, first time I heard Running Wild was with this album. I just fell in love with Running Wild. You could say they're not exactly a power metal band, but I think I'll call them a power metal band. You know, they're like a traditional speed power metal band, if you like. They're not like fully like the new wave of European power metal, but for the purpose of this list and the type of album that The Rivalry is, it truly does fit in. The melody side of the album is awesome. Rolf's vocals I love on the album. I think, you know, he's got his own unique style. You know it's rock and roll straight away when he's singing. The songs are so memorable on this album as well. And the production is like pin sharp, very clean but very sharp as well. Not like supremely heavy or anything, but very sharp. Okay, here we are. The top 2. Where's number 2? I can't even see it. Oh God. Where's number 2? Where is number 2? How come I can't see number 2? Oh, it's right at the bottom. The number 2 album, Virgin Steel, Invictus. Yes, this album blew me away when I first heard it. This was the first Virgin Steel album I heard in my life, and I'm like, whoa, what are these guys on? God, it was so sort of like, it wasn't like well produced, it was sort of like raw but quite heavy and dirty sounding, but with really epic vocal melodies. Like, you think to yourself, how did they come up with these epic melodies? It's just like, wow, how epic can a band get? So awesome. Every song on Invictus is awesome, every single one, and the album is long. It's like the full CD length. It's like 79 minutes and not a moment is wasted. It's just an epic heavy power metal album. I mean, it's not just full on power metal. I would call it epic metal with power metal elements. Like, it got pounding sections, like speedier sections, then it's got moody epic sections. It's just got it all. I mean, it's an awesome album, so it's well worth including here. But still, it's not the number 1, the numero uno, the dog's bollocks, the number 1 power metal album in my collection. And even if it wasn't in my collection, but thank God it is, even if it wasn't, it would still be the number 1 power metal album of all time. And it's the mighty, the much missed, superb power metal geniuses of Lost Horizon and their second album, A Flame to the Ground Beneath. This album is just pure epicness from front to back. Amazing album, like glorious, powerful, life-affirming melodies. Like when you listen to this, I mean, everyone knows that power metal is very invigorating. It's sort of like, it brings you up into a good mood if you're feeling slightly down. It's just like takes you to a different level of being, if you like, while you're listening. Well, some bands do anyway. But Lost Horizon is just like, if you were feeling weak and feeble, the next minute you'll be like He-Man when you listen to Lost Horizon. And of course, I have to mention the vocals from Daniel Hyman. The guy is just, he's just something else. His performance on this album is just godly, absolutely godly. His highs, his piercing highs, his more smoother tones in the mid-range, and then his melodies, like very sweet, awesome, catchy melodies that he comes out with. Well, maybe the writers of the music might have had something to do with the melodies as well, but he's the one who's conveying them, so all the credit goes to him. The songs are just awesome all the way. I mean, of course, it's culminated in the amazing epic called Highlander, in brackets, The One. That's just an epic song. One of the best power metal songs of all time. And of course, it's got that section towards the end where Daniel Hyman does the high bits. I won't attempt that. That's gonna make me look silly if I have tried to do that one. But yeah, I mean, Lost Horizon, A Flame to the Ground Beneath, I think it's a monument to power metal music. I mean, I can't imagine that too many power metal fans will not like Lost Horizon. There could be a few, but they're just an awesome band. And they couldn't, once they lost Daniel Hyman, I don't know what happened. He was probably irreplaceable. I don't know what the expectations of the other members were. I think the lead guitarist is Polish, Wojtek. I think he had expectations from other singers that were probably unable to be matched by them. I mean, I don't know. Hence the third album never got released. And I'm sure the third album would have been absolutely amazing. I mean, because they were only improving, and the production values would have improved as well. Music would have gotten heavier, more melodic. Because I always found with the Lost Horizon albums, the guitars were a little bit thin. They could always be a little bit heavier, a little bit more poundy, a little bit more epic sounding. I mean, they were good. I mean, they could also slightly improve the keyboards. I mean, the keyboards were epic and melodic, but things would have improved, you know, the third album, fourth album, everything will be improving. I don't see the band going negatively. I know it would be hard to top A Flame to the Ground Beneath, but still, we would have loved to have heard that third album, but it wasn't to be. So they never could get it right. Daniel's gone, and he's sung in a lot of albums since. He had his own band, They blew out, and then he had some projects. He sang in a prog metal band, I think a couple of years ago. I can't remember the name. Dimhaf, something like that. Yeah, it was quite good. I enjoyed it. It was good. It was good to hear Daniel again. But there's better news now. He's joined the Cypriot, I think their Cypriot band, Warrior Path, which I quite like. But with Daniel singing, it's going to be even better. I mean, I really look forward to see what he can do. It could be like a almost Lost Horizon style, because they're sort of like an epic metal band, not as fast, but it could be amazing anyway, just to hear Daniel sing more heavy, straight heavy power metal. But anyway, there you have it. that was my top 25. I won't go through it again because the order's jumbled up, but just check those albums out if you haven't. I'm sure you have. If you like power metal like me, I mean, these albums are pretty much staples of all power metal fans' collections, I would say. Probably a few that are a little bit more obscure and might be missing or might not be favourites of others, but these are my top 25. There you have it. Stay metal.